wave, one board on its side, revs go up, and off they go. Looks like Robert Wetterau is going to have the whole shot, followed by Mark McKinney and Eric Kondo. I believe that's Dave Moss's machine that's back out in front in the 450. Final wave, one board on its side, and away they go. A very slow start out of the last rider, but 995 takes the whole shot. That's Brad Munson. Leaders of 450 Superbike coming into turn 8. Over the top of the hill, it looks to be Dave Moss, then Alan Cunningham. And that is the order right now. David Moss, Alan Cunningham. And it looks like that's Dan Sewell now up in third place on the Kawasaki 400, which I believe is for sale. Go see Twinworks Factory for all your used bike needs. I gotta say, I'm watching the corner workers, and they're constantly running out there, grabbing debris, coming back off the track, keeping it clear. These guys are good. Alan Cunningham drafting Dave Moss. They pull out. That's not Alan, that's a 111. That's Zach Court, I believe, has taken the overall lead on one of those hybrid 450 triples. Dave Moss fighting back as Dan Sewell starts to close in on him. Zach might have an introduction to Dan Sewell very soon here. Zach taking a unique line through 3. It takes him very wide on the entrance, and it allows David Moss to catch right back up to him. As leaders at 250s come by, that is going to be Robert Wetterau, followed by Mark McKinney, and I think that's Kurt Karenko who snuck back up there, taking away third spot. And they're going to start catching some back markers pretty soon. Yeah, that's got to be Kurt Karenko on that big yellow bike. Eric Kondo just behind him. And Eric Kondo's got some company. I believe that that's going to be maybe Jeremy Coffey, one of our dark horses. Leaders of 450 coming to 9 right now, over into 10. Dan Sewell slowly catching up to this group here. Again, that's Dave Moss, then our motor journalist on a triple. I think he's doing an article for Motorcyclist on these triples. Again, they start off as just your basic 600. You pull a cylinder, you put it on a shelf, and you got yourself a 450. Up onto the front straightaway, that is going to be Zach Court. Followed by Dave Moss and then Dan Sewell. Next up is going to be the 421. That's of Ian Smith. Then Alan Cunningham. Alan's got to be feeling the pain. He's a little off his normal pace. I think he's feeling that back pain. Zach dropping down to a 2 flat to Dave Moss's 202. And Dan Sewell has caught up all the way to the tail of Dave Moss now. Sewell sees a bike in front of him. Sewell wants to pass a bike in front of him. But look at these 250s. They are ultra close. 3 wide going into turn number 1. These 250s are here to play, putting on some of the best racing action of the day. I can turn my attention back over to these 250s. As they start to envelop the back markers in the 500 class. Around the outside, I'm not sure who that is, but there's some brave moves going on out there. Robert Wetterau has the front position, followed now by Kurt Karenko. and I believe that's Mark McKinney in the third spot. I'm not sure what the dark bike with the white wheels is. That may be Jeremy Coffey. And I think that is Jeremy Coffey up in fourth position. Onto the back straightaway, Dan Sewell still all over the back of Dave Moss. He's pulling out of the slipstream. Side by side, Sewell's got the inside line, and he will not give that up. I know that from experience. Dan Sewell takes position. He makes it his. So I think Dan now has second spot. And they're coming out too wide out of turn number 15. Moss has retaken it. Sewell's got to charge and get this done. Cross flags are out. This is your first call. Sewell repasses Moss going into turn number 1. And keeps it. First call, race 14, 750 Superbike. First call, race 14. Cross flags continue to fly. Our 250s will be coming out at any moment. Doing so well, they are actually enveloping the wave in front of them. And here comes Robert Wetterauer in front of Kurt Karenko. And then look at this clog, 4 bikes wide. It's Mark McKinney now leading them. And then 3 bikes, it's anybody's guess who got the best of that one. I believe that that's going to be Sean Corbin, Jeremy Coffey, and Ari Henning, as well as Eric Kondo, 1 slot behind him, as they're a beautiful train going through turn number 2 right now. That is 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th place, and they're swapping spots all over the place here. Ari Henning just took a spot from Jeremy Coffey, who goes extra wide. He had the wrong line coming out of 3 to 4, put him really wide out of 4. We were lucky we didn't have any T-boning going there, as he just shot across the track. There was nothing better. There's nothing else he could do. His line was just so far off. That's a danger of trying to make that outside line in turn 3 work. If you hold on to it too long, you just hang yourself out to dry in turn number 4. And that's exactly what happened to Jeremy Coffey. Ari Henning got the best of him there. Onto the front straightaway, I believe this is Zach, followed by Dan Sewell and Dave Moss. As I'm looking for my 250s, because that's where all my action is right now. The 450s seem to have things pretty well sorted out, but the 250s, it's anybody's guess as they come onto the front straightaway. And I'm not kidding, we have battles for 3rd all the way to 8th place, hotly contested. They're catching up to the back markers. Robert Wetterauer, followed by Kurt Karenko, and now it is a draft move. Number 126 trying to get his way around Mark McKinney. I believe that's Jeremy Coffey. He's working his way back out, followed by 4 other bikes. They're going 3 wide into turn number 2. That's again 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 bikes, all within 1 second of each other, going through like an orchestrated train. And they're going to be coming up on lap traffic at any moment. Here come these ninjas, and they're actually catching up to a 500. They're going to catch him between turn 4 and 5. This will be very interesting to see because they are underpowered. Up the hill, they can't catch him. He's got more power, but now down the hill, these ninjas are charging, and they want to fly past this bike. Some people are probably going to get hung out to dry, though. 1, 2, 3 get by, 4 get by, 2 left out at turn number 6. And they all get by as the white flag flies. This is your second call. Second call, race number 14, 750 Superbike. Zach Kortz again coming by in first place, followed by Dan Sewell and David Moss. But my 250s are my excitement as they head into turn number 10. The first two spots are pretty well sorted out. Everything behind that, though, is anybody's guess. These guys are still, I think that's Jeremy Coffey, who's now taken over the number 3 position. McKinney has been shuffled back to about 6th place. But as they come into this front straightaway, it's anybody's guess. This is going to be your final lap. Final time past the, second to last time past the start-finish tower here. As here come my ninjas onto this front straightaway. We're starting off with Robert Wetterauer, has things well in hand. Kurt Karenko, and now they fan out. They're going wide. They're going 3 wide, and here comes a 4th one, and that's McKinney shooting on past the number 2-1. I believe that's Ari Henning. Yeah, he got past the 2-1-1 on the draft. McKinney made up a couple spots. Now he goes deep into turn number 2, gets left out, so that shuffles him back to 6th spot again. Jeremy Coffey going around the outside of turn number 2. He wants some positions back that he lost on the draft. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have ourselves a classic drag race to the finish. Come on down to the big tower. There's a little bit of bleachers down there. And watch what you can see at the start-finish line. I'm wondering if anybody's going to forget that the finish is those checkered lines on the track and not the tower. As the ninjas are still battling it out in turn number 5A. Checker flag is flying, and that's good. Dan Sewell darn near caught up to Zach Kortz. Dan Sewell dropping down to a 158 to Zach's 200. One more lap, Dan would have had it. Working his way up there. Dave Moss in 3rd place. And now we're going to start tracking our ninjas again. Basically, just look for the clog of 6 bikes on the track, and that's them. I believe that's Robert Wetterauer, and here comes Kurt Karenko, and then here comes the clog. They've strung themselves out a little, but not a lot. There's some lap traffic mixed in there too. Robert Wetterauer out of 11, 12, 13. Kurt Karenko through. Everybody else, again, still working their way around some lap traffic. The problem is those lappers have more power. They could be a deciding factor as they come down this drag strip. Onto the front straightaway. That's Robert Wetterauer with another victory. Well fought. Kurt Karenko onto the front straight. Everybody else, they've come into a 3-bike breakaway now, though. And I don't think we're going to have a draft move for 3rd. No, that is a back marker. It is 126, just barely drafts past. 931 to Sean Corbin. Jeremy Coffey with the unofficial 3rd place. Then Sean Corbin, Paul Johnson, Mark McKinney, and Ari Henning in that order. One more lap and it could have been completely different. Checker flag flies, that's your final call. Race number 14.